Hello, pet parents. Robert Semro back here at BlogPaws 2017 in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and we are having so much fun. We're learning a lot, and we're getting to see a lot of our wonderful friends that we run into, and some of the folks that you all have seen on some of our great shows. Dr. Liz Bales, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. It's always great to be back with you.
Well, it is a pleasure. Now, you're here presenting and educating the bloggers here. What are you talking about?
So I'm here representing Fear Free, which is an incredible organization devoted to reducing fear, anxiety, and stress in our pets. And this specific panel was on feline environmental enrichment, which is my great love. Huge
passion for you. Now, I know you've got the 5-a-day feeder system. Let's talk about that for a second, because I think a lot of folks don't understand the benefits as well as the need to have something like that to provide the enrichment for their cats.
Yeah, I think the simplest way to start talking about is, did you know that your cat's stomach is actually the size of a ping pong ball?
I did not.
It's true. So cats are supposed to eat multiple small meals a day, about the portion of if you could eat what's edible of a mouse, many times a day, not gorge from a bowl. And actually, bowl feeding is making our cats sick and stressed and fat. So we've talked so much, and particularly at conferences like this, about what to feed our cats. We really got to think about the conversation of how we feed our cats. Cats are predators. They're supposed to be hunting for their food. They need to hunt, catch, and play with multiple small meals a day. And now they can finally do that with the 5-a-day feeder.
And this is important because that's what they do in the wild. So they need that. We've taken them out of their natural environment. We've got to give them natural enrichment. How important is that? Because, I mean,
you know,
again,
I'm so glad you asked, because this is what changed my life and the way that I see this. I was at a veterinary conference 3 years ago talking about all these things, and that's really where I learned. After having been a vet for 14 years, I learned about this for the first time. And they said, doctors, do you know the #1 cause of death for cats? And we think about the things we see every day. You know, okay, it's cancer. It's urinary disease, which is something so common in cats. The answer is no. The #1 cause of death for cats is euthanasia. Euthanasia. I mean, that just killed me, for behavior problems. And those behavior problems are a direct result of how we house and feed our cats. So without knowing it, we're actually causing the very behavior problems that end up with a lot of us taking our cats back to the shelter, where ultimately they're euthanized. So I dug deep into this because as a veterinarian, I wasn't preventing or treating the #1 cause of death for my patients. And when we look at environmental enrichment, it's pretty simple. Even little kids know it. Cats are hunters. We even use the expression, a game of cat and mouse, but yet we're still feeding them from a bowl. For a cat, a good meal isn't just food. For a cat, a good meal is being able to be their natural predatory selves in conjunction with that small meal at the same time. And a lot of work has been done to find it's best if we do that at least 5 times a day. So that's when my life really changed forever. And I think as we get this information out, euthanasia rates are going to drop.
Well, certainly going to be an improvement there. Now, what does a conference like this give you the ability to do besides reach more people?
Well, I'm getting the opportunity here to talk with people who've also devoted their lives to education and spreading the word about what they've learned to other people. And it's incredibly important because, you know, in our own little worlds, we're doing our work. But when we come here, we can share our ideas and then talk with people who have the platform to get that information to hundreds or thousands or maybe even millions of people. So the people who are blogging and communicating with the cat parent are the most important people of all, because the information and the tools are just the starting point. If that information doesn't get out there, it's a tree falling in the forest.
Right. Well, and so what has the response been? Because I know this is a new concept for a lot of folks.
It has been incredible. When you really get down to the nuts and bolts of it, what could be more simple than a cat hunting a mouse many times a day? So once people understand that, and then really understand the negative consequences, the stuff that cat parents see all the time, where cats will eat a bunch of food from a bowl and turn around and throw right up, we call it scarf and barf. anyone who's owned cats in their life, like, ooh, scarf and barf. I know that one. Or cats urinating outside the litter box. Actually, cats are more likely to urinate outside the litter box because of environmental stress, because we are housing and feeding them in a way that's stressful for them, more likely than it being a urinary tract infection. So these things that we see all the time, urinating outside the litter box, scarf and barf, cats that attack us, wake us up when we're sleeping, attack each other in the multi-cat household, those are all things that we've come to accept as part of normal cat ownership, but they're not. It's because we are housing them and feeding them in a way that doesn't suit their nature. And when we reverse that and are able to give them what they need, those behaviors that we can't live with go away. It's really as simple as it can be and a miracle all at the same time.
Well, I want to make sure the folks know where they can get more great information, because you have a ton of great information. Let's give out your website address and your social media contact info.
So you can reach me at thecatvocate.com. I am the Catvocate.
You are the Catvocate.
Advocating for cats. And you can find more about the product at NoBowlCat.com. NoBowlCat. Let's get rid of the bowls and buffets. Those are for people. Start feeding your cat like a cat.
Well, thank you for everything you're doing in the pet world. It really makes a difference. So thank you again for everything. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. This has been really fun.